Squad broken!
Too many! There's too many! Never seen this many before! Sound the retreat! Sound the retreat!
That's it, boys! Kill your fill, and smear this here ice patch with their blood! This is a war! All good and proper! The way it should be done! With me as Warboss! What about Sturnn, boss? Can I kill him? Show you guys a good orc? No! Sturn's mine! I want his head! What's so special about his head? That's where the skull is, stupid! And I'll look foolish with his foot on me pointy stick! Stupid! Stupid me! I knew the answer to that!
Did you though?
I love this that dialogue exchange because it's just like, I just love so much just like stupid, like you yes and that like he's like chiding himself for looking stupid in front of the boss. It's so dorky. Hey, this is the good part of the mission, by the way, everybody. This is the part where the mission is fun. This is the lead-in. It tricks you.
Yeah, like that's just it. Like you're gonna see me like I basically have no reinforcements here. Like it says hey, you know, plus 13 orc resource or whatever, but in practice I can't reinforce anything because I would have to have below 15 orcs to build anything. If you're not like at the end of the objective, you're just done. You're just friggin' done. Just restart.
Though, amusingly enough, there is a glitch with Orc War. I don't know if it works in Winter Assault, where if you save and reload, it resets the war counter.
That sounds like a thing that would happen.
Yeah.
Like, I did all of my runs of this mission in one shot, so...
This is shout-outs to a guy who breaks games named the Spiffing Brit. He did it a few months ago. He actually did it when I started the Dawn of War thing. And so I don't actually know which version of Dawn of War it works in, because it's been a little while, but there's definitely a bug where if you save, and then, like, I think either quit the game or just reload, the war counter will reset.
It has constantly amazed me exactly how much of Spiffing Brit's content ends up mirroring ours. The one that everybody showed me in our community was the Majesty 2 video he did. Super long story short. Basically, there's a bug in Majesty 2 where if you pause, you're able to put infinite number of gold producing buildings on a single hotspot. Right? Cool. Great. The thing is, I actually reported that bug during the beta of the game, and they never fucking fixed it.
There you go. The man was creating excellent YouTuber content years in advance. He was like just... Or rather, a dev's inability to give a shit at that point created it.
To be fair to Paradox, if you go through and you do it like that, it's... Oh wait, this is great.
Had to get...
Ghost Sturnn photobombing the entire thing.
Sturn's dead. This here is his head on me pointy stick. There's still enough space for your head on this pipe, Kroll.
Careful with my trophy, Gorgutz. I'll soon be claiming it from your frozen carcass.
I have arrived at the blood pits, my lord. What would you ask of me?
Then get to it! The faster we gather the blood to appease Korn, the faster the Titan is ours. But before you leave, execute that pitiful excuse for a soldier for embarrassing me!
Once again, like NPC randomness being the star of this show.
Chaos laughing Chaos Space Marine is my fucking hero at this point. Like, that guy gets knocked over, he fucking does it. Every time. You know, for the longest time, this is like a little shameful embarrassment, I always thought the pointy stick that Gorgutz was referring to was like the one on his back, his trophy rack. But then I only just realized that that stick with the thing on it was not like, in that cutscene, was not a Chaos, like, stick with the head on it. That was him.
Yeah.
He brought an entirely new stick with Sturn's head on it, planted it in front of them, said, "Hey, look at this! I got his head, eat shit!" And then took it with him and left.
Yep.
I love Gorgutz so much.
It's so good.
It's the dumbest thing, but it's the most beautiful thing.
It is the orkiest flex. And that's the greatest thing, is that it is the orkiest flex.
Alright, fun's over, now it's time for the bad part. This is, because, like, it's not just the fact that we're playing as Chaos in quite possibly one of the least fun ways, and I'm gonna let Cool Guy describe it, because he's the one suffering it.
Right, so... little spoiler, the sorcerer is going to have to go capture a number of guardsmen squads to fill the blood pit of Khorne, right? Okay, cool. That sounds simple enough. He can only do it when he is reasonably close, by which I should say very close, and all of the guardsmen squads are intertwined with a bunch of other stuff that you can't mind control. So I'm talking things like Psychers, I'm talking things like Hellhounds, I'm talking things like Sentinels. And the instant you mind control them, they don't become yours. They're not green, they're blue. So they will force follow the sorcerer, but they won't. You can't heal them, you can't reinforce them, you can't do anything with them except move the sorcerer around. And everybody else will prioritize killing the shit out of them.
The glory of chaos! Your will? The weak fight back!
I must ready.
Oh yeah, okay. Here, the sorcerer's gonna have his thoughts on it.
Willed guardsmen will serve well as offerings for Khorne. For that, however, I must possess them first.
Skulls for the skull!
Right, so in addition to having the issue of their former allies murdering them and killing off the squad, wasting you a dickload of time, you also have to worry about your own people, your CSMs with heavy bolters, those chaos predators that you saw me mousing around. They can absolutely murder these unupgraded guardsmen in an absolute eye blink. And if you kill the entire squad, screw you. You have to go find another guardsman squad. There's a fixed number of them on each particular point of the map. There's a lot of them. You can fail at this particular song and dance a lot of times, but if you're not very finesseful about it, you should totally expect to be here like 2 hours. 2 hours doing nothing but wrangling a sorcerer and trying to get his mind slaves to come back with you. It's a colossal pain in the ass.
And the entire time, the Eldar are poking at you.
Yeah.
Quite often.
Yeah, so I believe it's about every 4 to 5 minutes. The Eldar will send a 2-pronged strike force of Guardians, Dark Reapers, Howling Banshees, and Fire Dragons. And basically those squads will be arranged in different ways, poking at different listening posts that you have. And if they take the point, they will absolutely push in. Fortunately, none of them are strong enough to stand up against, a single upgraded listening post and a couple of heavy bolter turrets. But that's another thing that you have to handle.
We will serve you, and in return, grant us the power of the dark.
I despise the need for such trickery. But we must scout the battlefield.
And the other thing to note is that I don't have a whole lot of resources. I started out with 5,000 requisition, but there's a lot of things to do, a lot of things to research. It is very, 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 very easy to run out of requisition in this mission. And if you do, you are at basically plus 100 a minute. You will be here forever, just waiting for your resources to come out.
Yeah.
I have a very specific build order that I'm following to avoid that particular crunch, and you will still see me hanging around like a moron for a while.
Yes.
Right now, go ahead.
Oh, it's just because like, for whatever reason, Mission 3 for both Order and Disorder are both like, hey, you know how you like having resources? And then they just squeeze it out of you and you don't get anything.
It's just... Like you liked having resources? Fuck you, here's Crunch.
And like, for the Imperial Guard version, it's like, you're fighting against waves of enemies coming at you, but that's all you have to do. So, that trickle, you don't have to focus on other things and deal with other things at the same time. Whereas in this one, you're, like, trying to wrangle a whole bunch of stuff while trying to, suck on this cloth that you've dipped in requisition and, trying to wring out every little bit of blue onto your tongue. It's miserable.
That was the critical thing that I just did right there, was the heavy armor deployment, because... You would think that out in the wilderness here, there wouldn't be anything that's really that threatening. And to a very limited extent, you'd be right. Okay, cool, I've got a couple of predators, here's some shooter boys, that's all well and good. And then down below, I've got some Chaos Space Marines, and there's some orcs over there. Here's the problem, there's a kill-a-can on basically every approach. or a looted Leman Russ. And I'm here to tell you, if you don't have heavy armor deployment on there, both of those units are going to take massive chunks out of your predators. And even with them, you're going to want to have some workers around to repair them. It's just a not easy fight.
Yeah.
And you have absolutely nothing that will effectively handle it, short of that heavy armor deployment. There's the can! There's the fucking can! You think that, your freaking horrors are gonna handle the problem? Like, get off that shit. Like, don't talk to me about horrors. I actually try to show you horrors and how completely inadequate they are for the job at hand.
I was just thinking, you're talking about the killer cans, whatever. I was just imagining that was, basically the pitch that the Gorgutz had to become Warboss, was, you'd have a killer can on every corner.
Yeah.
With freshly loaded with cans of squig juice. So you just sort of, an orc just goes up and slaps the stomach and a can rolls out. And then the little aggression inside goes, "Oi, fuck off!"
It's a very big pitch. It's a very effective one. I'd vote for him if I was an orc.
I wonder if any mech boy ever franchises. Because we talk about pain boys and mech boys teaming up to make killer cans and stuff like that. You ever wonder if a cook, like an orc cook, because there are orc cooks. There are orcs that make, because a war boss is like, hey, I'm the war boss. Give me excellent food, man. I love food. Mm-hmm. I'm in charge, so I'm gonna have the best squigs to eat. So he'll inevitably get some weird orc that just loves getting maimed by his food as he tries to cook it. And so I just wonder if a mech boy and the chef boy, we'll call them, have ever just gotten together and tried to franchise.
Mork Donalds. That's basically what we're talking about.
God.
We're talking about Mork Donalds.
Oh my god, that's beautiful. Thank you. That's just basically just made my year. I don't I'm gonna be having a really bad day one day. I'm gonna sit there and just go Mork Donalds. Yeah! Oh dear.
Mork Donalds. It'll have the competing instead of Wendy's, you'll just have Gork Donalds, and that'll be the new Gorka Morka. Gorka Morka for the 21st century is just fast food wars.
Oh god.
So yeah, here's what I was talking about. Another kill a can right over here. You might think that can is pretty far out of the way. You would be wrong if you wanted to finesse one of the guardsman squads properly. So you need to clear that. Oh, by the way, it's supported by a Leman Russ tank.
Looted.
Yeah, so I basically just have to do this quick switch to make sure that I don't accidentally get aced. So now I've got the freaking heretics coming over to start working on those, get them back in fighting shape, because I have another area that I need to head forward to.
Oh man, Every time, like, when I went to play, like, when I was like, okay, I'm gonna be Let's Playing Dawn of War and Winter Assault and Dark Crusade and all that, so I got in and I played through Dawn of War, and while I was still sort of, like, you know, getting all the episodes, I went, well, I'm gonna, like, unlock all the missions for Winter Assault, just in case I need to, like, play for any reason to record, like, any little interesting bit. So I did all of them, like, I unlocked all of them, and then it was just, like, when playing this mission was just, like, sigh. It was just, like, every little thing. You really just put those way too close. Like...
No, I'm going to try to move them around. Like, the thing is they also are going to get pincered by the fucking mega power armored knobs that are also in ambush position.
I'd have put them behind the Chaos lines to throw things. I know their range isn't tremendous, but at the same time, I think they would have managed fine at there. They absolutely cannot stand.
Not with the mega armored knobs there. Oh, this is also the point that I realize I'm using my cultists wrong, and I set them to range stance, which is where they should have been to begin with.
Yeah, once you can get the grenade launchers on them, you just use them to make everybody fall over on their ass.
The grenade launchers are also of prime importance for attacking the ping on my minimap. There's a very specific way that I need to do this to remove the impediments to the sorcerer without killing the guardsman, and the grenade launchers are absolutely required for that.
Yeah, there's so much, like you've probably done this way more optimally than I did. When I did this mission, I think it probably, like, this mission takes, like, 40 minutes. I think it took me about 45 to 50, and that's just after me, like, completely binging off of, like, Dawn of War, and then, like, just rapidly playing through Winter Assault. So I think my brain was just in the right mindset to sort of do it. It was just, like, but it still wasn't fun.
The big problem here is just the walk, like, the capture and then the walk back and forth. Because here's another little wrinkle that I didn't even mention earlier. I mentioned how the sorcerer will force the guardsmen to follow him. Well, if the sorcerer gets too far away because pathfinding and Catfitus 1.0 happens, you lose control of the guardsmen. You have to go enslave them again, and they're going to be shooting at you, so it's entirely possible that if that happens anywhere near your units are just going to be like, hell yes, something to shoot, and then that's the end of that. And go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you quite literally will be like, oh yeah, I need this many guardsmen, that's easy, I'll just grab this squad and let's going, and by the time you get back to base, you've got like 1 or 2 of them left.
Yep.
And it's just like, oh no.
That's if you're lucky. If you're not lucky and you haven't handled this properly, then you're just going to lose them, and the sorcerer will be looking real freaking dumb back at base. Anyway, those sanctioned psychers are why I wanted the grenade launchers. They're very long range. They're really good for this purpose, and they don't instantly freaking kill the guardsmen. Right now, I'm dealing with another little wrinkle in that I was expecting to have the possess power by now, but since I approached the base from an odd angle, precisely because it makes it easier to exfiltrate that group of guardsmen, I don't actually have the button to push to capture them.
What an absolute dog shit of a fucking mission this is.
Oh my god.
Sorry, Relic guys, some of whom, worked on this game, but oh man, this mission, like, no. Oh no. See, this is it. This is the problem. Look at that. Look how much of the thing he needs to get he no longer has access to. All because, like 2 seconds of shooting.
It didn't kill them. I actually do end up getting those squads, but again, you're right. It was 2 seconds of shooting, and those 2 seconds of shooting nearly cost me 2 squads of the 5 that are in my quota. Like, that's actually significant.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I finally got Explore the Imperial Base done, which means that I now have the button I need to push.
If that is your wish.
Swear to unholy Christ.
It is a mission.
There you are.
Target squad is far beyond the reaches of my...
And yeah, you'll hear that so often, and it just makes you want to shit.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to scream a couple of times.
Like, you've done this way better than I have, but now you got to get him back to base.
Yeah, and you'll notice, like, I am holding shift and setting waypoints because I know the general spots where the pathfinding tends to break. Anyway, I've now gone over most of the really difficult crunch of this, so we can now go into like the proper podcast portion, because now we're looking at close to 15 minutes of just walking back and forth.
Walking back and forth.
Walking back and forth.
Playing Pied Piper.
Yeah.
So, Kroll is an excellent example of a shit Chaos Lord, and I can kind of understand why Cord has just dumped him on an ice world and forgotten about him. Like, it's just, like, he is quite literally just like, Bale actually was, like, achieving things. Like, Kroll mostly just stands around screaming and yelling and just being a complete failure. And his response is always to, like, the problems is to always be like, I'll yell at Khorne to solve my problems.
He's the primary god botherer, and that's actually a really good point, in that, like, you can see the blood pit filling up as I continue to return squads there. And I'm hesitating because I'm, like, tracking my memory to try to find another Chaos Lord or Chaos Sorcerer that ever bothered the gods as much as Kroll does in, like, these 5 freaking missions. And, like, I'm pretty sure that over the course of like, an entire campaign, like, Eliphas is just like, whatever, I'll handle this myself. I'll handle that myself, too. I'll also handle this myself. And when he does finally call in the Chaos Gods, it's like, for very, very, very specific reasons. And Kroll actually does bother the gods a lot. And you can kind of see how Khorne implicitly punishes him for that. Like, keep that tidbit in mind when we're watching the end of this particular mission. It puts a lot of things in perspective.
He's such a fucking waste of space, and I love it.
Yeah, like, to be clear, like this isn't a knock on the writing; it's a knock on Kroll.
Yeah,
you need dickheads who are just dickheads from time to time. That's fine.
I think they realized no matter what, everyone was going to be cheering for Gorgutz in the Gorgutz versus Kroll arguments. Let's be real. I mean, he is the best orc that ever orced. He is the isekai orc. He's the only good option. Like, Sturnn is cool and chews the hell out of the scenery. Teldir, you gotta admire her pathos and her also direct activities. Gorgutz is just orky as heck, but also, like, really just, like, very self-aware about it. And then you've got Kroll, and it's like, how can we make a Kroll interesting? And their basic response was, why don't we just make him the straight guy in, like, the Gorgutz comedy routine? He doesn't even know he's getting pranked half the time. And then, like, one of his guys gets knocked over by Gorgutz on the way out. Oh, he made me look bad. No, you made you look bad. You just stood there when Gorgutz talked shit at you and then walked off. It's you, man. You're the problem.
This is you. This is how dumb you sound.
It is a good pain. Of course, we do your bidding. We are the Destroyer! Chaos is our master. Chaos, consume us! That is the way to hell. Kill, crush, rend them limb from limb. Chaos is our master. I am power.
I like to imagine that even more than the god bothering, Khorne's just disappointed about that.
Oh, he's just so lame. Khorne is known to get fairly emotional about his servants in different ways, and he's more than happy to bring them back to life if he thinks it's necessary.
No, keep moving, you dumb asshole!
Like, I think I've talked about it before in, like, the Total Warhammer streams that we've done, but, like, in, like, Warhammer Fantasy, he absolutely flips his shit when like, this one champion of Chaos, a lady, dies on the way to bring him the head of a demon prince that she had slain. as a mortal. And was just like, no, I had plans for you, no! And like basically brought her back to life. Like he basically got off the fucking skull throne, strode across his realm of chaos and picked her up and was like, no.
This is not how this story ends.
Yeah, the Korn can be probably the most affectionate, at times, the most affectionate lord. He makes Nurgle blush. It's just like, so this just goes, whoa, dude, you don't need
to get that attached to your toys, man. And Korn's basically just like, come over here. let me show you how attached you're gonna get to your toy.
And so, yeah, it's just like, Kroll is basically the other end of the Korn spectrum where, inevitably someone's gonna have to lead the World Eaters, and all the really excellent leaders either end up descending to, Demon Princehood, or just, dying in battle, or their butcher's nails drive them crazy, or Khan the Betrayer visits them, starts selling them cookies, and then, they open the box, and it's just kind of inside the box as well, and he beheads them. Because it was all just this really weird, elaborate plot, and everyone's just like...
That sounds like Karn.
Yeah, no, it's just what he does. And, because, you can only behead someone so many times before you want to really just, spice up your day.
You gotta put some art on it.
Yeah, the man knows what's good. So in the end, you get guys like Kroll at the end of it, who I guess can lead, but you don't ever have to worry about them getting too big for their britches and actually, succeeding. Cause
they're just literally not smart enough for that.
What's that term? Failson?
He doesn't even understand why he's failing. He just knows that he's failing and he doesn't like it.
Well, I was gonna say, for the most part, you don't have to worry, Korn never really has to worry about the World Eaters, too much. They'll basically just go where the blood and the murder is. One of my favorite little things of lore, about one of the various different forces that fought in the Badab conflict. Because they've all got really cool backstories. And I can't remember which one it is, and boy, it would take me 100 hours to, pull through that PDF to find them. But... essentially, at one point, a comet just started flying through the Imperium, and that comet was made out of pure angry, as near as I can tell, because, it was essentially just, full of blood, and in its wake, reality tore, and demons spilled forth, and I guess there were also, a whole bunch of, World Eaters just, riding on top of it as well. And not just in its wake, but also preceding the comet as well. This just is, this insane blood comet screaming towards everything. So I think Korn understands that his boys aren't the smartest thinkers. Most of the time when he deploys Khan the Betray, it's using a ball of yarn. So you've got to understand it. You got to understand, guys like Kroll are there basically for when he drops everybody on a cold planet and just goes, "You're all embarrassments," and leaves. Kroll just goes, "I've been given a test," and just starts working at it. Just keeps going on about breaking bones and trails of blood, etc., etc. And it's just you're a very sad cretin.
He tries very hard. Unfortunately, he's trying at all of the wrong things.
He tries everyone's patience, is what he does.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
By the end of this mission, there's we need to wipe out the enemy, so clearly we need to go back to the blood shrine, and you're just okay, at this point, we could just walk around the map murdering everything, but your solution is your goddamn shrine.
Yeah.
He built this ages ago, and, there was no one to kill, and he was just I spent so much money and time building this blood shrine, god damn it, I'm gonna get some use out of it today.
Kill! Crush! Rend them limb from limb! After 1,000 battles, one only sees death.
Bless us, Great One.
Point out, I got the easternmost corner cleared out. I scouted the entire thing with my cultists to make sure that I wasn't missing anything. And I also want to point out, I perfectly got all of the soldiers out of there. I didn't lose a single squad. And I still need to go to a different freaking side for more bloody soldiers. I just, God, I want to die.
This map is a special kind of torture.
Yeah. Anyway, the issue that you run into every time you start moving toward another part of the map is that the map is deceptively complicated. There's a lot of things going on with it. There's no real easy way to get from A to B, and everything that goes from A to B has some sort of impediment with it. The northwestern corner that I'm heading to right now is basically the next easiest one to go to, and I have to basically do this long raking attack against an entire orc base, because if I don't, and I try to walk the sorcerer by here, guess what's going to come out and play? Oh, and by the way, they love making mines on the approach.
Yeah, it's important to note that while there are sort of, little guardsmen, everything down south, basilisks. There are a lot of basilisks there, and they're very much overlapping one another, so every time you try and get near one group of guardsmen to grab them, and you destroy the basilisk closest to them, there's another one, and it will use the line of sight of those guardsmen to immediately start firing at them. So if you try and possess the guardsmen there, they will usually get blown up by the basilisks.
Instantly.
It is literally just not worth it. It's not worth going there.
The only way to handle it is basically to somehow infiltrate a cultist unit in there, and then deep strike horrors in there to deal with the basilisks. But that is still slower than clearing the entire approach over here.
Yep. There are just sometimes where you just gotta accept that, the mission is, just not worth the effort. And it's just like, charging into basilisk teeth is always not worth the effort.
Oh god, no. No. Like, anything that has anything to do with basilisks there. And by the way, if anybody's wondering if their telegram just pinged, no, that was me again. I was recording this at 3 a.m., and I was just like, surely nobody is going to message me at 3 fucking a.m.
I have a pre-recording ritual, and it always involves checking my mic to make sure it's muted. Because God knows nobody wants to hear me suddenly go, oh, for fuck's sake! And then, just, happens in the final episode of Dark Crusade, and thankfully was never recorded.
That happens.
And then, of course, I mute Discord, and then double check to make sure Discord is still muted, because, oh my god.
Their minds are mine to play with.
Problem I always have is that I have literally 8 different messaging apps for all of the different ways that, that people talk to me. I always forget at least one. I always forget at least one.
Yeah, I didn't even know you had Telegram.
Yeah, I've got Telegram. I use Telegram, Signal, Discord, Slack, Microsoft Teams, and a couple others that I don't even want to think about right now. All of those are generally running on my computer 24/7.
Thank God we're eventually going to homogenize all of these down to a giant psychic beacon that stretches across the entirety of the galaxy. On a good day.
I would unironically just love telepathy. Just one thing to one focused thought to turn off telepathy, and then I'm good.
You're recording your Let's Play of Dawn of War Winter Assault abandoned, several millennia abandonware that you found in an STC.
Yeah.
For, Mars research, and you just get a knock on the door at 3 in the morning from a scribe. Sir, the astronomical message, how's it go, bro? We have a follow-up message, another scribe knocks on the door. Yes, have a follow-up message. You're up a bit late, aren't you?
Yeah, this is about that's about the contents of a lot of these stupid interruptions that I have too. Everybody keeping such track of me, they're keeping track of my sleeping habits, and I'm just like, I appreciate the love and attention, but also fuck off.
My wicked intellect will lead us No! The Eldar have summoned an avatar! This will undo everything unless we act quickly! Sorcerer, heed me well. Retreat to the Blood Pit, and prepare a surprise worthy of the Avatar's presence!
I just want it on record, that was literally why I made the Defilers, is for that moment!
Just for that cutscene?
Yes! I have no other use for the Defilers.
Yeah, so the Avatar is here, and the Avatar is angry, and he's gonna do that thing that like always happens, where they come in and fight and lose health and leave. Only I think this time they actually made him so he's invincible.
Yes, he is 100% invincible. The Avatar is 110% invincibles. So, like, the only thing I can do is go do that possession complete and whatever thing. Then I just need to set up a line of fire that, you know, they don't get around for 2.5 minutes.
Just stay right there, Mr. Avatar.
Yeah. Like, I can't even remember if they can technically see him or not, but it doesn't matter.
You stay on your side of the ruins, and I'll stay on my side of the ruins.
He won't stay on his side of the ruins. The Defilers served their purpose. I literally only created the Defilers to ruin that cutscene.
Good work, boys. Good work.
All I cared about.
Enemies! We need enemies.
There are so many different, so many people in the Imperium. Like, someone's employing a massive amount of them just for, every individual message.
Ugh. Yeah, no, particularly on Hive worlds, where life is really cheap. Like, that's just all the more that a lot of people can aspire to, is being a glorified note-taker for somebody who's way too high on his own farts.
It's time for everyone to just start, doing a fighting retreat. Let the Khorne Berserkers, who will not break, soak up a little bit of it, but it's Oh, he's doing the cool advance where he walks in for a bit, stops.
He literally just stands there.
And then he'll move in a little bit more and stop.
Yep.
And then a little bit more.
He just sort of chills there, and he moves forward.
I feel like he's broken somehow, because that's not how it's supposed to go, I don't think.
No, all 3 times I played this mission refining it, this is how it works.
Huh.
You can watch it in relation to the possession complete as well.
Oh, he just spawns these things. Okay, because I've never actually been looking whenever this has happened.
Yeah, he free spawns these douchebags, and then I think it's 20 seconds where he starts moving again. It must be 10.
Just to put the pressure on. Yeah, there he goes.
Yeah, there it is. 11 seconds he starts moving again, just so once the possession is complete, you know, he's right outside your door.
It's so dorky.
Okay, cool. We have a bloodthirster.
I love how bad the frame rate for the transformation is, and then he suddenly bursts into actual animation. That's so weird.
Yeah.
And yeah, just to make sure that you just don't still kill him before he can get there. There's a special kill the Avatar button, and the Avatar wanders off. So you gotta get over there and wrangle the Avatar, so you can press the kill Avatar button.
The Avatar is supposed to go straight to the. Shut the hell up, Kroll. Swear to Christ.
Damn them! We wasted too much blood summoning the Bloodthirster. No, we need more if we are to appease Khorne. I'll tell you this, sorcerer. Tomorrow, I shall enjoy sucking the Eldar's eyes from the screaming skulls!
I am sorry, my lord, but that is not the worst of it.
Tread carefully, sorcerer, or I might savage you instead of the Eldar.
Then perhaps you should sate your thirst on orc blood, my lord. Gorgutz and his rabble are gathered near the Titan. Perhaps he is ready to attack it.
Gorgutz wouldn't dare! I grow tired of this so-called alliance. I've wanted for that miserable orc skull, and I shall have it as my cup! We will first move to secure the Titan, and then deal with that venomous snake. Only then shall we fill the blood pit to its rim and set it overflowing. Then the Titan will at last be mine.
Take the battle.
I am completely in love with how hard the Bloodthirster was dabbing in the back there.
I've had Ildar corpses just sort of unceremoniously land in the middle of like those two having a conversation before.
The one where he just tosses a Guardian up and just like swings through the fences, I was just like, I'm no longer paying attention to what's happening with Kroll.
And again, the eyes. Again, the eyes. I keep mentioning it.
Yeah.
It keeps bringing up the eyes. He can't stop himself.
Yeah, like, you guys might think we're being a little hard on Kroll, but I would point out that this is like a 5-mission thing, and this is like the 3rd time he's mentioned eyes. It's just like every time you're on camera, dude. Like, just give it a rest.
every time he's on camera, Kroll has to mention his love of eyes.
Oh my god.
The worst is past.
That is the worst of it behind us. It's all behind us now. I did it as cleanly and quickly as possible. If somebody has an idea for speedrunning this stuff more, like, please leave it in the comments. Like, for real, though, I feel like that would be a service to your fellow Dawn of War players. Until next time, when we do the Gorgutz version of Mission 4, I have been Cool Guy.
I've been the Lost Robo Guy.
Take care of yourselves, everybody.